Hello, everybody, and
So I can
welcome.
move the camera now?
Yes. Welcome to our April membership meeting. We're a bit thin today, it looks like.
Why, thank
you.
I consider it spelt.
So I went ahead and put links in the announcements channel. So if anybody needs access to the agenda or video links, they're both there. We're going to start by going over some of our financials. We're going to talk about some Maker Faire stuff. I know it's a bad word still, but we're going to talk about a lot of different things. And we have some ops related stuff. And then some new members.
Pizzas are here.
Wow.
Pizzas are great.
So first thing we're going to do is we're going to toss it over to Dan. Dan's going to go up and give us our membership and financial updates.
Okay. So let's see here. We did not have any class income in March, which is a little disappointing. And as far as membership goes, we have in March we actually lost 7 members and we gained 3. The membership's down for there's a variety of reasons why people were leaving. We're at 121 members, including the family members, boosters, etc. And we also, but on the good news is there was about $124 in the donation box, so that's always good. That's about it. So.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. So one of the things, we do have a link for donations. So if you feel that you have more money and you want to part with some of it and give it to the lab, we do have a link that I'll be posting in announcements that it's a donation. There's also a recurring donation. If you want to increase your membership or do anything else to support the lab, you can do single donations or recurring donations for any amount that you wish. So we're going to talk about some Maker Faire stuff, and we're going to pass this on to Michelle, because Michelle has been taking over all of our Maker Faire duties. Please join us in the front.
It is 207 days until Maker Faire.
Oh, God.
That's it?
That's it.
How many days?
207.
Okay, so I was going to say we're about 6 months out, because that sounds a little less scary than days.
I know it's
If you want to know by hours, we're about a little under 5,000 hours. So, all right, so same time, November 9th and 10th. So we need member engagement because it's been kind of going downhill the last couple of years. So we need you guys to showcase your stuff. So when it comes time to sign up for Maker Faire, I'll send out dates on and announcements are general. And then just sign up.
There's a Maker Faire channel as well.
Okay. So when you sign up your stuff, just click that you're with FamiLAB so that our name gets out there a little bit more. Pay attention to due dates, and that goes for signing up your stuff. And if we're getting a moving truck this year to take all this stuff over, I don't know if we are or are not.
It depends on engagement, and it also depends on. Well, it really just depends on engagement. But since we're still 6 months out, it would be good to start talking to places like Budget and Maker FX has already approached 2 Men in a Truck, and so they're getting donations that way. It wouldn't be bad for us to try and get donations from someone else.
Noted. All right, so we'll figure that out, and then I guess depending on what size truck we need, I'll give a due date, and if you don't tell me that you need to have your stuff on the truck, then you get to bring it yourself. Okay, and then we're also talking about doing a FamiLAB project where we want it to be interactive and possibly something that could be like a make and take. So we could use some volunteers for that, and also some ideas. We've been throwing around some ideas, but if you guys have any ideas of your own for the make and take type of activity or something that's interactive, then let me know. Okay, that's about it.
Okay.
Yep, okay.
well, more details to follow in the next 207 days.
Yeah.
5,000.
We're starting to plan now just so we can be ahead of the ball. Because we want to have a really awesome showing for Maker Faire.
So don't forget that Maker Faire came from us originally. And we have kind of not been as influential in the last couple of years. It would be good to try and get back into that role.
So Lily, do we have to do separates for the robots, or is that all uncovered under your stuff?
That is all completely not related to FamiLAB, and that will be planned over the summer and stuff.
Yes, Mike.
I had a question from the back. What's Maker Faire? It's
my question.
he asked me.
Okay, Maker Faire. Maker Faire is a big show and tell. So generally we all have booths. We show off the biggest, coolest things that we've been making, try and get people excited about making, and it's pretty much our biggest event of the year. It happens, the last couple of years it's been at the Central Florida Fairgrounds. We rent the entire fairgrounds. Well, the Maker Effect Foundation rents the entire fairgrounds. But there's everything from Power Wheels racing to kids games with interactive stuff. There's usually fire things. There's music art. There's
Killer robots.
killer robots. Lots of killer robots. It's fun to watch a 200-pound robot go flying.
We had the Tesla band at the last one.
Yep, they're not coming back this year. Architect.
It's a way to show off the stuff you make and what you do to like 20,000 people over the weekend. And it's just really fun also just being out there seeing what everyone else does.
Yep. You come away with more project ideas than you do coming here.
Think World Fairs.
Oh, and one more thing. I've already started making a list of people that I'm actually going to hit up to have a booth. So I will be coming around and.
I'll have a booth.
I have a booth this year.
I'll have
Have
a more
stuff now.
of anyone.
Good.
the
I'm
rest
not
of
gonna have my
radio?
own booth.
So one more thing. I don't think registration dates have been announced yet.
No.
I think they're still a couple months out.
Yeah, 9th and 10th is the.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the registration.
Yeah,
for makers.
usually 4 months out. There's a kickoff party soon that I'm gonna go to, but I don't know.
I will not be able to make that one, but there will be essentially FamiLAB doesn't really get but a table. That's really what we have. Everybody else, if you want to be a part, you have to sign up and say, I'm part of FamiLAB, and they'll give you a table near us.
Maybe
Either in the
it's better
same-
than last year.
Yes, hopefully. But we're looking to have as many people as we can get involved, have a nice big showing, have some nice interactive stuff if we can, get people excited, have something cool show off.
That's also why we're planning earlier so that we can be more coordinated.
But everybody who wishes to have a booth needs to register as soon as possible once they announce that and open up registration. Next item. So some of you do and some of you don't know that I installed a timer inside the admin closet. Please don't show everybody and turn it on and then leave. We've had issues with this where people will invite non-members in and show them that and turn it on, and so please don't do that. I mean, it comes down to, it's not just your stuff in here. It's just so next I'm going to pass this off to Brian, who's going to do some ops related stuff. We're going to go over the reason why we need ops and what ops does.
Right. Was that written down anywhere?
Nope.
Right. So this is going to be completely without a script. See, nothing here.
Welcome to extemporaneous speaking.
Yep.
There's some ops stuff in there.
Okay. So ops can always use help. We are just regular members like all of the rest of you, except we do the things when nobody else ends up doing them. We make sure the day-to-day stuff gets done. We show up for deliveries and we take care of stuff like that. We make sure there's cups in the kitchen, silverware so that we can party, as well as make awesome stuff. So if you want to help out with the little day-to-day things like, well, everything, arranging rooms before events.
Cleaning, restocking the paper towels.
Yeah, that too.
Answering questions.
Answering
Yeah.
questions, membership engagement.
Yeah. So when people pop into general chat and have questions about how do I this, or can somebody help me with this, we can point those people. We
The
jump in
laser's
and
on fire. What do?
Those marshmallows.
by the time you're contacting us, the laser should not be on fire.
But it is.
Lasers
Call the fire
still on
department.
fire.
There is a document.
It is on every wall. So if you want to help out with little questions that may or may not be very, very timely and need answers soon, we could use your help. Also, purge table. It will live up to its name tonight. So go see if there's anything you can use. It is not, once again, it is not for stuff exchange. Please use the stuff exchange channel if you've got awesome stuff at home that you want to see if anyone else wants. Purge is for stuff that loses its home here at the lab. So misplaced and elderly projects, members.
What about misplaced
Don't
elderly
get
members?
evicted.
Items from members that are no longer members?
That's a separate thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't want your stuff to end up on purge, please, please, please clean up after yourself. Just like we don't have any real management here, we don't have janitorial staff either. So if you like vacuumed floors, duocracy. We have multiple vacuums, and once you vacuum once, you can answer the question of which direction the carpet flows. So the lab is only as nice as you make it. Please chip in and help out with us. And is there anyone who has made anything awesome in the past month that they want to show us?
Do you want to go first?
No.
I have lots of things. I go last.
He goes last.
I did a one-on-one class with Ed and made this really cool knife. It's kind of
Show the camera.
tarnished.
Show the camera.
Oh yeah, here we go. It's kind of tarnished because I put it in the dishwasher and it rusted.
Ah.
But I've been using it for everything. I took it camping. I've been using it in the kitchen to cut vegetables. I cut my steak with it. Anything I need a knife for at home, I'm using this, just seeing how it works. And it was a great knife. Had a great time making it too. Awesome. It's not super sharp right now, if anyone wants to see it.
Show it over here.
Don't throw the knife, please.
So anyone else have anything awesome to show off?
So,
Hi.
all right, I got an SLA printer over the last couple of weeks. I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So here's a couple of awesome SLA prints. This is a dude holding an axe, and so this is a nice high res print. I'm loving my SLA printer. 0.02 millimeters is a wonderful print level. So thank you.
Anyone else?
Besides me.
All right, show off your box of stuff.
The usual.
Box of stuff.
Okay. So every time he brings it stuff, it just makes me depressed about how little I've done.
Yes.
Okay.
Camera.
Camera. Look, I'm actually in front of the camera now. Okay. So this was, I had it on a breadboard last month and it wasn't working because it hated me. It's meant to be, it will actually show, a little sand toy thing that does a little calibration sequence. It's got an Arduino Nano in there and a little, is it MPU 7828? It's an accelerometer in there. And as you turn it around, the dust falls. The only problem I'm still having with it is that drift compensation is a thing, and the z-axis on this likes to flip itself and go crazy. So it kind of, sort of works, mostly, until it stops registering the z-axis. So that's fun. So everything about it works, except I think I need to replace whatever the accelerometer in there with something better that has built-in drift compensation, because that's the thing that's confusing it. Everything else about it seems to work just fine. But I made a case for it now, and buttons. Awesome. So things. That works now, vaguely, as it rolls away.
Throw it.
Things. Other things.
I made it. I'm done.
Yes. If it breaks, I'm not going to be mega sad. Okay. Other thing is, I finally went from my old Wanhao i3, which was the mono price Maker Select 2, to a Prusa Mark 3S. So I've been doing big prints and things, and really liking layer accuracy as a thing. So these are at 0.1, and I think I'm pretty much at the limits of what FDM can do, because wow, I'm really quite happy, and genuinely.
0.2, right?
Yeah.
0.02. This is 0.1.
0.1. He's 5 times sharper than mine is, and can probably go lower if he wanted to.
I can go to 0.01, but it just takes a really, really long time to print.
Yeah, and looking at those, you don't really need to. So, yeah. I'm quite happy for what FDM can do, and since I'm mostly doing props and these were just for testing, it's good enough. Yeah, things. Those I will paint. This was another one at 0.01. It is I think it's called Pumpkinhead on Thingiverse. It was a sort of a scaled up mini to play around with painting. But I put trying to show it off, the little flicker flame bulbs you get in LED tea lamps in the head. So it's got a kind of a green glowing Halloween kind of look to him. Again, mostly just playing around with new printer. Genuinely, the stupidest, nicest thing about that is just the removable print bed. Being able to pop things off is like the nicest thing in the world instead of chiseling. Things. I guess this is the biggest, most impressive thing. Doesn't say that. That's the thing I want to do. So this, yeah, that might help. The last time I did that, it froze on me though, so I'm gonna leave it.
Touched it, bro.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes for me.
The demo effect.
So hopefully that
Should bring
should
two
power. Power. And hey, vaguely, if the camera can see it. I think that might blow it out more because that camera is.
Nice.
Yeah, it switches into a low frame rate mode, but yeah. So this is slight epilepsy warning now. Literally just a tower of 6 WS281. 12B. Those ones. They're basically the NeoPixel strips, but
Are those ones that are in blocks of 3?
I think so. It's literally just 6 of them going around the outside, all run in parallel, and then it's just being controlled by an Arduino Nano, and it's just got sort of an animated flame effect. So they're all set to orange by default, and then it will flash a pulse of black down the line, so it looks like the flame is cutting off, with random flashes of red and white as well. So the actual Saturn V rocket off of there is from Thingiverse. It's a snap fit model from Real Absurdity, and I designed all the base and stuff in Blender. So oh yeah, okay. So take 2 on this. Thank you everybody who showed up last time when I did the intro to Fusion class, and thank you for being the guinea pigs, because I kind of went further in depth than I should have for an intro class. And so this time, instead of doing it open to everybody, I'm going to do the class as members only, as like one last pass of guinea pigs to hopefully get it right, and then open it up again. But anybody who wants to learn like the basics of Fusion, with the caveat that I don't do engineering, I do like visual effects, art, modeling stuff. Learning Fusion. If you've never used it before, you don't know what the tools or how they work.
And what day is that again?
That's the 28th from 3 to 5.
Okay.
So yeah, and then yeah, stuff. I've taken up too much time. So anyway, productive. I have fun with it. My printer's basically been running 24/7 since I built it. So.
Oh, hey.
The last show and tell. You should have printed it on the card. So, yes. So the FamiLAB has just picked up a new, expensive, and exciting piece of equipment, and it was a great team effort. These guys go for about $3,000, and
Wait, we can't afford that.
that's absurd. Is the lab spending our money on that? That seems ridiculous. That would be ridiculous, but this is the last piece of equipment that Bio needs to run everything in-house, and I no longer have to plan doing cell preps around running to a UCF laboratory. So good, and it really was a team effort. It was listed on an auction site busted for parts of repair. Mike found it for us. Kyle and Siraj spent a couple of fun evenings diagnosing and fixing it, and I spent the $20 for the winning bid and went and picked it. And went and picked it up.
And how much in parts did we have to put into it?
$5.
So great time. It's refrigerated centrifuge. Okay, good.
So I'll give you $30 for you make my
Please tell us about this refrigerator centrifuge other than we have one. What is it for? What does it get you? What does it do?
So yeah, it's so
refrigerated?
So the deal is whenever we're doing DNA work and we make a modification, we have to get it back into bacteria, and those bacteria have to be specially treated to allow us to get the DNA back in, and it makes them really fragile. So as we're treating them, we need to be able to pellet out the cells. So that's what the centrifugation part is for. And they need to stay chilled at 4 degrees, so essentially, so they don't die while we're screwing with them. And so that's high-end equipment, and I was going to need to, wait around until my schedule freed up over the summer to go and bum lab time at UCF, and now I don't need to anymore.
Cool.
Can I take big shots?
Yeah.
Don't get that. 4 degrees science, not 4 degrees American.
That's freedom. Degrees freedom.
Yeah.
Also, because it spins, it'll separate the shots.
Ooh. Rainbow shots.
Later drink.
Yes.
You want to come back and finish the our stuff?
Okay, so we do have a bunch of events coming up. Every Sunday we've got Intro to TCP/IP. Every Wednesday we've got Microsoft Server Technology Work Group. Every other Friday we've got the Radio and Electronics Meetup. The fourth Saturday of every month is the Raspberry Pi Jam, and I do apologize for reading these off my tablet, but I don't have them memorized. Look at the calendar if you want to. Yeah. The fourth Monday of every month is the monthly Modular and Synth Meetup. The fourth Thursday is Security Night, DC 407. The next one for that one is the 25th. If you look on the calendar, you'll see the next for all of these. We also have, as Blackheart mentioned, we've got Intro to Fusion on Saturday, April 28th. We've got Learn to Solder and Laser 101 on May the 4th. That's every first Saturday of the month.
Isn't that a holiday? May the 4th?
Yes.
Some
Yes.
nerd thing.
Yeah.
Deeply religious holiday.
And the next LAN party will be on Saturday, May 18th. Please come out to that. The last one was great, and that's all I'm going to say about it. If you were there, you would have known how awesome it was. We played all sorts of awesome games. Right. The next board meeting is on May the 12th. And coming up soon, in June, is the lab's 10th anniversary. So we are going to have a hackathon that whole weekend. There will be a kickoff event on Friday and a tournament with judging on the Sunday. You don't want to miss it. It will be a team event. More details to come.
And this Saturday is the now quarterly Lab Board Game Day.
Did I miss that one? Or was it just?
I don't know that
Okay,
it's on there.
good. Now I don't feel so bad.
Tabletop game day.
Yay!
All right. Before we get into the testimonials and the new member stuff, I'm gonna toss this off to Craig. You said you wanted to talk about some.
Yeah. We
It can be loud.
They kind of agree on it. I was gonna say.
I think so.
Did we agree on that?
Yeah.
I think we did. We agreed on that. I don't want to speak without. the word. So yeah, we wanted to talk a little bit about what was the way you put it, Dave? You put it really well.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be that's it.
Isn't that in the
So
bylaws?
yes, yeah. Basically, FamiLAB's a community. We're really here. We're intended for collaboration within the greater hacker maker community. We pretty much exist to encourage the open exchange of ideas and expression. And to do that, I think we require an environment that recognizes the inherent worth of everyone in every group. Recently, we've kind of noticed a lot of kind of trolly behavior. And I think that's really coming from the membership. And I want to be careful about how I say this, but it's really just plainly unnecessary. There are lots of avenues for trolling, for you to get your troll on outside of FamiLAB. So I really want to encourage you to not be a dick and take that behavior somewhere else, to be clear.
Do we have a code of conduct?
I don't believe we have a
and an escalation process.
So I will jump in on this one. So
Okay.
Willa worked on a code of conduct. I don't know what.
I also run a conference that has one. And
What was it,
procedures.
4 years ago, I think it was. So we have the majority of a code of conduct, and I don't think it ever got fully ratified.
Yeah.
But we technically do. Yes, we had a code of conduct. We had already talked about revisiting that and pulling that back up. It's on the forums, but it has been kind of stagnant for a while. Yes, that is something we're going to.
Differently too.
Hmm?
It's geared a little differently too, because it was.
It's a different time, you see.
It was defining awesome, but I think it would be valuable just to grab a well-known code of conduct and use it.
That's not a bad idea.
A lot of the verbiage of what I just said there was actually straight from like CubeCon. A lot of the conferences, use sort of the same language where basically it's like, hey, we're intending to be an inclusive group of people that care about each other, and trolling is probably not the right way to do that.
And we do have that form, right, for reporting incidents.
There's an incident. It's on.
Everyone knows that.
It's on the membership page on the website. It's also pinned, I believe, in general as an issue reporting. So yes, we do have that.
The point being though is we're trying not to get there. So a gentle reminder that we want to be excellent to each other. We want to encourage people to share and care about each other, and let's just not get to the point where that we need to say negative things or scold the membership or whatever I might be perceived to be doing right now. That's
be an asshole.
Never our goal.
I mean, I can put a more positive spin, which is more doom and gloom, which is if somebody wants to be a troll, they're choosing to close the doors. Because if you run off the membership, we can't stay open.
Well, most people are members here because they appreciate the community and the awesome people and people who care about each other and help each other out with lots of really awesome making and hacking. So that's where our focus should be. So hopefully we can kind of bring it back to that. And we don't have to talk about not being a dick at member meetings.
That's
yay.
Woo. Yes.
I just want to say, I think there's something to be said for a space where in an open zip-tied box, over $100 can be there for weeks.
Look, now you say it, now it's not.
On the internet.
Oh my
It's
God.
great
that I now have a lock. But seriously, I think we have a real gem of a community here. I think that some of this is kind of is it necessary, right? And if it is necessary, why not somewhere else? Just not here if it must happen in your life. But come on, this is a great place, and everyone, just look out for each other in that way.
I just say, when we're in a room together, it's a really great feeling because everybody here is friendly and open and sharing information and stuff. Just try to keep in mind to carry that over to the same people who have screen names in Slack, because in person, we're all friendly faces, and a screen shouldn't change that.
I agree. Don't be keyboard warriors.
Yeah, that's what Xbox Live is.
Is that what it's called?
I thought that was for getting interesting insults about my mother.
That's Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So now, without unpleasantness out of the way, I'm gonna have Matt talk like a robot.
Oh yeah,
Jamie. Where's my burrito, bitch?
Your burrito bitch? Well, that's good.
Unfortunately, you've been misinformed today. Tonight I'm appearing as Russell Brand, who's a crazy person from the United Kingdom, and he's got a lot of things to say. Excuse me, I'm talking
I've got an order.
So, I want to talk first about a couple of testimonies. It appears all for the one same person. That's quite an interesting predicament we find ourselves in this world. And it's first one from current member is Rob, right? Saying about Anna. Anna, who is totally like 5 kobolds in a trench coat, has bribed me to write a testimonial. She didn't bribe me. She has been coming to life for 2-ish years, has been yet to be caught committing any crimes. Come on. Well, any we care about. All right. Anna also has used a laser cutter on a project under my awesome supervision and tutelage without burning the lab down, setting fire to the laser, and most importantly, hurting me. Way to go, Rob. I believe she will be a good member, no guarantee after she turns 21 and can drink. True for anyone, right? True for anyone.
Now be a great member.
Now we have another recommendation from Brian, same member Anna, I assume. Anna good, Anna no murder hobo, let Anna come to lab. Why to let that hobo go? Right. Finally, we've got a recommendation from Mike for Anna. I believe that Anna would be an excellent addition to the lab. I've worked with her for over the years. Her family have been members here, and I've seen a strong desire to make, learn, and share with others what she knows. It sounds great. Her photography skills are phenomenal. I hope to continue to learn from Anna and see her share her passions with others. Very nice, Mike. Thank you. Now, do we have any others? Like I said, have a great night, everyone.
All right, so we have a couple of people who want to introduce tonight. So in no particular order. So we have Lisa. So Lisa, come on up. Yeah. Well, I can turn the camera towards you if you prefer.
No, because I'm in the way.
Do you like a template or something?
So we'll start by, I'll ask you a couple of questions. So tell us about yourself first. Why did you come to the lab? What do you want to learn? What do you want to teach?
My name is Lisa. I fell down this rabbit hole a few months ago. I don't know if it was like Instagram or Pinterest, but I fell down the laser cutting rabbit hole. And I was looking for a laser cutter manufacturer, and you guys came up. And I had remembered seeing something about the Maker's Fair. I think I saw it at that arts event downtown. You guys had like a little, or maybe it wasn't you guys. There was like a little.
We do a lot of different.
Yeah, it was really cool. Anyway, so so that's how I got here. I want to learn how to use the cutter, maybe some welding, and as far as teaching, I know nothing.
You know something.
I can learn something. And
everybody has a skill that nobody else does.
I can cook.
Great.
I can feed you guys. We have talking.
What are you interested in as far as like fandoms, and do you have like a favorite TV show, book, movie, comic book?
Game of Thrones.
Great. That counts.
That counts.
Okay. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Or Stargate.
Worst case. Or do.
Doctor Who. Oh my gosh.
Breaking Bad.
No.
No.
We'll take it.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle, and why am I gonna get told we're not knowing
You'll just get recommendations of stuff to watch and read.
No, that's why I'm here. I don't want to binge any shows. I want to come here and make stuff. And
Well, you're gonna can do both. If you're gonna be lasering, it's gonna be sitting there for a long time. You have lots of time to watch this other stuff.
Yeah.
With your I mean, or you can start a 3D print while you're lasering, so it takes longer.
I have a question. What is your quest?
It's a reference to Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
oh shit.
You can just hit it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You should ignore it.
There's
They might like it behind the screen.
Did I fail?
No.
Wait, no.
You ignore
You're
it.
so failing. Like, do you have a hobby? I have lots of hobbies.
Tell us about those hobbies.
I'm a mom of 32.
You have 32? What kinds of fish?
They're like dwarf species, like dwarf shrimps and tetras and.
Do you do anything with them?
I spend a lot of money.
Sounds one of us.
So yeah, that and plants, and I cook a lot.
Cool.
Oh, hey.
Do you cook the fish with the plants?
Sounds delicious.
I do. I do that.
So
I do aquaponics. So.
Oh, really?
What's your cuisine of choice?
I mean, it's gonna sound really Asian.
Asian fusion.
Asian fusions. I'm Vietnamese, so I cook a lot of Vietnamese food. I'll cook a lot of Korean food too. I can make other stuff too, other than Asian food. I make a really good steak. I just started dabbling in with the sous vide.
Oh,
sous vide great.
I can teach that, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey.
I'd sample.
Can I?
Never bad stuff.
No.
Oh no.
No.
And you wouldn't want to anyway. No, you wouldn't want to anyway.
No food in the laser room. You'll learn that in Laser 101.
No organic
It
matter
tastes
in the
really
laser.
bad.
Yeah.
No, leather's okay.
It's bad.
It tastes
Some leather is okay.
It tastes awful.
Really?
Ask if you ever get curious about how a pepperoni that's been lasered tastes. Ask Fantic. We tried it with the old laser many moons ago.
The much cheaper laser.
Yeah.
And then,
It was
then,
disgusting.
then,
forgot the smell out of the room.
then ask him about the
and,
cleanup.
grilled cheese.
Sure, if that's all you've ever done with that laser.
Yeah,
That's not all that's ever been done with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some residue.
It's all laser infused.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Gabriel? Gabriel? Nope. Ronaldo? Nope. Okay. So I guess we are missing two people who had signed up to introduce, and it appears that Anna has now completed her process. You will receive an email with instructions.
Do you still have the hobo?
Bring the hobo back.
Let him go.
Does anybody have anything else they wish to talk about tonight? Any other items? Say it.
I love you.
Yes.
Is there any membership or participation at MegaCon?
I am unaware. I will be there, but I will be there separately. Is there any, do you want to drive something?
Well, no, I'm
Thanks for volunteering.
I'm going to be there for the steampunk folks, so I'm wondering if there's any other participation. So I do.
I think there's lots of people that participate. Yeah.
There's lots of people going, but there's no official.
No official.
No official.
We have
Yeah.
FamiLAB
There's some membership. Correct.
There,
I'd be interested to hear what people are doing.
Maybe next year.
I mean,
Start a Slack channel.
Another one?
Another.
Let's just start
yes.
two though.
They're free.
Next year playing at MegaCon and MegaCon attendees.
Yeah. Mega Connors.
Yeah.
I started both.
Okay, if there is nothing else,
Tiny announcement, and I'm gonna put in the request now, for security night, DC47, we're gonna be meeting in downtown Orlando at Starter Studio, just like we did in February. So, we'll put in the request, and it'll be on the calendar, but, feel free to check it out.
all right. Any more? Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
The Maker Fair,
Yes.
do you guys need sponsors, or like how do you get a larger booth? I guess
We have more
you
people.
just spend more money, like how does that work?
Oh, so
Make a thing, show it up.
I was gonna say, don't conflate FamiLAB and Maker Fair. We don't run it.
So, Maker Fair is run by the Maker Effect Foundation, which is also tied to another makerspace. The booth size is determined by the number of people who sign up for it, who say they're part of FamiLAB. Each number of projects. So FamiLAB will get a table in a 10 by 10 booth. That is all FamiLAB wants. That's all FamiLAB's going to have. But if you decide you want to show off at Maker Fair and you say, I'm with FamiLAB, and you have a bunch of stuff, you might get a table right next to us. Now, our booth is technically larger because it appears that we're larger. And we want to get as many people who are interested coming to Maker Fair and saying they're associated with FamiLAB, so that we will have a larger presence.
The other thing is the reason why
timing's important. The earlier you get stuff in, the easier it is for them to do layouts and planning, and the more likely a contiguous space is to happen. The later you wait, the more likely you are to not be exactly next to FamiLAB if you want it to be, or you're going to be outside.
You don't want to be outside.
You don't want to be outside.
And you don't by default get a 10. That's not a default thing.
I know.
Do you? How do you know that one? But yeah, you want to sign up early, and essentially, the more projects that sign up with the FamiLAB, as the group you're with, the bigger the space that they can get. But that being said, Maker Faire always loves sponsors. So does FamiLAB. And they're both tax deductible donations. Ask your accountant.
Yes.
All right, so also about Maker Faire, we're still going to do the soldering portion at Maker Faire. And this year, Flash Gordon, Aaron has been nice enough to volunteer to take the lead on that. He is possibly looking for someone to co-work with him on that because it is kind of a big project.
Jackie.
Jackie's gonna do it. Awesome.
And Alice. So I don't have a problem bringing static displays, but I'm going to be splitting time between the robot stuff and the Power Wheels. How does FamiLAB handle sort of that matrix thing, covering tables and that kind of thing? Or am I going to be responsible to keep that table covered all the time?
I'm not sure I understand.
Having personnel to
well,
cover.
So you're doing Power Wheel stuff, and you're going to be doing.
I'm going to be doing the robot stuff. I may be doing the Power Wheel stuff, so I'm going to be split a couple of different ways.
You would
I
have
have static displays that I put up on tables that would be FamiLAB projects.
Some of those things can be put on the FamiLAB table.
Okay. But they're fairly large.
That could be. I mean, we can work on that, and that would be an individual thing.
All right.
But generally, if you've got stuff, it can be set on the FamiLAB table.
Okay.
If you've got stuff over in the Power Wheels area, there may be a table or something like that over there for
This would not be
cars.
putting Power Wheel stuff in the FamiLAB stuff. It would be separate static displays that wouldn't be associated with those, but it would expand the footprint of FamiLAB's things. But I couldn't possibly be there the entire time.
You do get, 3 extra volunteer makers. So essentially, if you have family or friends who will be willing to sit at your booth, they get the same rights as you do. They just don't get their name on the bill. They get the pass and everything, then they can sit at your booth. If you need more than that, I'm sure that you can work it out.
The important thing is we don't want to have a bunch of booths with just like a thing and then nobody there to talk about the thing.
Correct.
Because the whole thing about Maker Faire is talking about the thing. And we've had several years where people dump their projects and then go off and do their other things. Because we're really involved in Maker Faire. We're just not necessarily involved in the booth.
I've done Maker Faire in San Mateo for a decade. Okay, so when we have the makerspace, we pull resources for the things that we're doing other things so that we can have.
There will be some of that, but we don't want to have everybody do that.
Okay.
So.
Okay. It's also 209 days away. We'll be talking, discussing, planning.
Wait, 207.
And 207. At least 207 days.
We
Sorry, I was
probably have
looking
to
to my.
figure this
I
out
was
in like
209 days to my nap time. After.
So we have like 206 days to figure this out.
Okay.
And a few extra.
If there's nothing else, I'm going to close the meeting and say thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming.